Alright then. This is the anime podcast. We're just going to talk about some animes, have a nice chat, and we're going to start with another. Let's do this, bitches.
Alright, so my favorite anime of all time. Basically, the story revolves around a kid who gets transferred into this weird high school, which when he joins, he doesn't really know what is going on. He kind of just thinks that he's an outcast and he gets treated differently because he's weird. Like, he doesn't belong there. He's not from that place. Um, and yeah, he meets this weird girl there who everyone thinks like they just ignore her, and you don't really know why they ignore her. They kind of just act like she's a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay, so Iscu, would you like to expand?
Right. So, there's obviously a reasoning behind why there's she's shunned, so to say, as and treated like she's not like a non-existing person.
You're right.
The reason behind this is obviously because they've got this there's this within the school within class 3A, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, class
Yeah,
three.
3A. They have I know it's like
It's kind of like a curse. It's kind
Yeah,
of like
it's
a
a
curse.
curse.
a curse on like within the classroom,
Yeah.
and like basically it goes like if there's there's always one extra person within the class.
That's missing from the roster, right? And
Yeah.
when someone joins the classroom, things start to happen in the town and start happening into the school involving the students in class 3.
Yeah.
And basically, loads of series of events happen, and they end up like tragic events, not nice events.
Very tragic events. Yeah.
Everyone gets hurt in some way
Yeah.
because of the new students going into class 3. And basically, the story progresses very well.
Yeah.
The character development is very, very well done. The art style
Yeah.
is amazing.
Mm.
And the dub, I'm going to say this is the best dub of all time.
You know, I would have to agree. It is a fantastic dub.
I never watched it in sub due to the recommendation of the dubbed. So I'll obviously have to agree with the dub. Admittedly, the voices are very well done,
Yeah.
and the main character's voice actually suits his character, which is like in a way could be like in a shy in a way. He's not
Yeah.
he's not a loud but not too quiet character within the
Yeah.
series. So obviously
He's
with his
kinda- He's kind of a misunderstood character out of everyone.
Yeah.
He's kind of like
Yeah.
the guy which is he doesn't say a lot to anyone, but you know what he means. Like his body language is understandable of what he represents.
Mm.
Because at the start of the anime, he's actually in hospital.
Yeah.
He has heart problems. I think it's heart problems.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
I think so.
And he gets visited by 3 students that are in the classroom, mainly student body presidents and
class rep,
some
wasn't it?
The head
class
of-
reps.
The head of countermeasures as well.
Yeah, and the head of countermeasures. And basically, what countermeasures means is that
Try to prevent.
yeah, she tries to prevent the incidents from occurring, so that's why they keep such a close eye on the main character.
Mm.
And the main character, Sakibara,
Yeah.
is very close friends. Wow, he tries to get close friends with the other main character, named Misaki.
Yeah. But she's the
And-
one who's shunned by the entire class, and everyone
Yes.
acts like she doesn't exist.
Yeah, and basically, she knows exactly what's happening, but the class can't tell him what's going on
Yeah.
because otherwise he will know too much, and then involving
The
like
curse would happen
Yeah,
again, basically.
exactly.
and she tries to steer him away from being friends with her, but he persists anyway because he wants to fight. He's he's suspicious of what's going on. He wants to get to the bottom of everything that's happening in the class and why everyone's acting like that towards her.
Right.
At first, he thinks she's a ghost of some sort because no one else seems to act like she's there.
And she's kind of like left there without anyone knowing. People just walk past her, and no one cares.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone's got like a nice clean desk, but then she's just got this beat up, old, just broken apart desk, and it's clear that anyone who sits there is just shunned by everyone. Like no one knows who they are. Everyone can still see them, but they act like they're not there because they're trying to prevent this curse.
Yeah. So, did you know that the main character, Saki Kibara, is actually English dubbed for the main guy, not the main guy, but you know the guy dressed in all black in Angel Beats?
In all black?
Yeah, the guy, the president, the second.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, he's actually that main English dub actor for that character, and
Really?
he is very well done. Moving on to Angel Beats, a very well known anime.
Mainstream.
Yeah, kind of
Very
mainstream.
Mainstreamed.
Yeah, but it's also known for how it makes people feel at the end of the anime.
Yeah, like because it's
Which
very sad at the end. Like the
and it's
ending is
also
incredibly sad.
it's very controversial.
Yeah, it's sort of one of the ones where you either love it or you'll hate it. It's not really a middle ground simply because of all of the episodes up to the ending. Because I'm one of the people who I don't really like the anime, I will say.
But you understand it.
I understand why people love it. That's fine, but I'm not really one of those people. Simply because the episodes leading up to the end was too drawn out almost, and the concepts they came up with, which came up during the last portion of the anime, was fantastic. But they only applied it to one character, which was really annoying. They should have done it to everyone instead of just that one person.
Right. But you have to admit, the art style is insane.
It is. The art style is just, it's out there, and it does it well.
It's very close to another.
It
Very
is.
close.
Very, very close, yeah.
Especially in the music scenes when they were performing songs.
Yeah. The music scenes, don't get me wrong, they were incredible.
Yes, and
They
I
were
think
very well done.
Comparable
think-
to Kaon.
actually what I think is kind of like in a way, because the way that Kanade was treated is kind of like a representation of another, how Mei was treated. She's kind of an outcast, but they don't understand why,
Yeah.
and they're doing it for a reason unknown to them.
Yeah.
And you know, they're kind of relatable in that way. And
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah, the
So
main
in a
character.
way, you could say that the main character, obviously, like in another, tries to make contact with the shunned character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, in the first episode of Aim to her and tries to talk to her, it's pretty much exactly the same. He tries to make contact with them, and in a way, he succeeds. In a way, he does succeed.
Well, if you say getting stabbed in the chest is progression through friendship, then I mean.
Well, it's his own fault, but yeah.
But obviously, after that learning experience.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Anyway, like eventually, she ends up learning that he means no harm.
Yeah. And
Around.
and I think the story progression in that it's like around the middle. I mean, like some parts are kind of like they're kind of just I wouldn't say pointless. I'm just gonna say dragged out a bit too long. Than they should be. Like some parts in the anime shouldn't be in there.
Some are dragged out, some are not fleshed out enough.
Yes,
that's the problem with that anime.
I thought the trap scenes. Don't bother. I thought the trap The trap scenes were
Yeah.
very, very well done. Like when
Yeah.
it's like showing you what every character is able to do.
Yeah.
When you got the newbie guy doesn't know what he's doing but passes every single test, and everyone who's an expert fails.
Yeah. But then again, the only reason that he passed is because someone failed. Someone else didn't pay attention and they failed, which means that he got to pass.
Right.
So he didn't really gain any experience from it.
No.
He just kind of flunked his way through. But that's good, because it means he's not the kind of character that just powers through everything. He's the character that just is there when he thinks he can do well.
When he's needed. And, like, he kind of just observes people.
Yeah. He's not very good at fighting, but at the same time, he can learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, one of the things about Angel Beats is there's one character that I absolutely adored, and yet you knew nothing about him, which is TK.
TK is, like, amazing.
He's so good, but the thing is, like, you know nothing about him. He just speaks English most of the time, Japanese very slightly, and yet you know nothing about him, but I still love him.
Yeah, TK, I think he's one of those characters which is just there because, just for comedy amusement. I mean, but it would be good for them to actually expand on TK's story, because I think it would be
not even TK's story. If they expanded on everyone's story,
yeah,
you didn't really get to know everyone. You only got to know like maybe 2 or 3 people.
No,
it's only 2 or 3 people you know the full background to, and that's it.
Exactly.
Like the background of each character would have been a nice idea.
Yeah,
it could have possibly been maybe if they fleshed out some parts. And
I think if it was a 24-episode anime, it would have been fantastic. But the fact it was only 12 made it mean it was rushed.
Yeah, it really did.
I swear it was 13.
Yeah,
13 episodes. That's where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13. Sorry, yeah.
All right, moving on to the next anime. Very good anime, which Iscu would like to. Steins Gate.
Steins Gate, very, very well done. It is unbelievable. At first I was very skeptical about watching it.
Me too.
Because when you look at the tags on some of the anime sites, it only gives you a couple, which are sci-fi and thriller. Where, in my opinion, I'm quite skeptical of watching, because my favorite genres are action romances.
Right.
So obviously I was a little skeptical. I liked the synopsis when I saw about it. I end up seeing loads of people saying about it when a couple of times when I was looking through some animes to add to my list to watch, and I saw loads of pictures and etc., which made me more interested into it.
Right.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm a really big fan of mystery anime. Like, I absolutely loved the idea of Steins Gate.
Yeah.
As I said, there's only 2 tags, which was sci-fi thriller. Obviously, definitely needs more tags.
Yes.
It needs the romance tag, mystery. What else? I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's mainly the tags it needs. I think the story is a very well written story.
The character development within the anime itself, brilliant.
Yeah, even within it's like the characters which you don't think are gonna be like the big part are actually, everyone's connected. Everyone you see is connected to the story. Not just like in some animes, which is just like, oh yeah, he's there, it doesn't matter, we'll just get rid of him later. No.
Yeah, they all play a crucial role throughout the whole anime. Even though you don't see them for maybe I don't know, there's times where you don't see a character for 4 or 5 episodes, maybe even longer, and then bam, they're back and they played such a major key role.
Yeah.
Right.
Because It's literally, but I think, okay, this is me. I think that some episodes kind of got boring when you know what happens when he with the foam thing where he keeps going backwards and forwards all the time. I thought that got a bit too repetitive and got annoying at a point.
Right.
It was still like interesting,
Yes, it kept you on edge.
even though it was like in a way a little repetitive. It always keeps you on edge because obviously it's gonna be something different will happen no
Yeah.
matter what.
So basically, in Steins Gate, there's these things called world lines,
Okay.
and it's not spoilers or anything. This is
So,
Well, I haven't actually seen it, so you can't spoil it anyway.
we're not
No.
gonna spoil it anyway. So basically, as Lootingg said, it's about these world lines. At the start of the anime, this guy called Okabe, or his full name is Rintaro Okabe, he ended up going to this convention in Akihabara, I think it was.
Yeah, Akihabara.
Yeah, he went into this convention where this guy was talking, giving this presentation. As obviously as the main character, a scientist himself, he obviously went along
Hyoin Kyoma.
with his childhood friend, Mayushi.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Mayuri, and obviously from that very moment of actually going to that convention, it starts the whole twist of fate, you could say. And
Alright.
obviously it's like a turn of event after event, and basically whilst he's there, before he goes into is it after? Yes, after he goes in and gets kicked out. He's there talking with his childhood friend, and then he hears a scream from within the building he's in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
obviously very curious on where it came from and who did it. He ended up going to find out where this came from. Going upstairs, he ended up finding the corpse of this character called Makise Kirisu. Obviously in shock himself of seeing a corpse on the floor, he panicked and left the building.
Yeah.
And
he
was
phone.
obviously he started to send a text to his friend who works in his lab,
Utaru.
quote lab, which is Itaru Hishida.
Okay.
And within the mail he goes, somebody killed Makise Kirisu. And then as soon as he sent that, it changes the world lines.
Basically,
It's like an alternate universe,
yeah.
you could say. And basically within this timeline / alternative universe, she is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And obviously when he goes, no, I can't remember what happens after. He goes to in this building, goes up an elevator, comes out, and then he sees her, alive, talking, with something.
Doesn't know what's going on.
He's a little surprised. I swear I saw her corpse.
Right.
What happened? So he goes over to her and starts touching her, you're supposed to be dead.
Yeah, it kind of freaks her
panicking.
out.
And then
basically, keeping from when she's alive, it makes turns of events different from what the outcome would have been. So without spoiling anything, it's just like I do this, or it's either this. Like I either sacrifice one thing for another, or I sacrifice this thing for another thing.
Right.
so basically you're it's as Luton said, you sacrifice one for the other. It's impossible to have both.
Yes, and
Okay.
the more and more times you mess with time, the more and more messed up it will get.
Right.
Because obviously whatever you do in the past obviously will change the future.
Yeah.
Because obviously within Steins Gate, the guy, I can't think of his name now. Okabe, he ends up accidentally creating a mini
Time machine.
time machine, which is obviously able to send mail texts back in time.
Right.
Only for a certain amount of days, though, or hours.
And obviously,
Yeah, and obviously, without spoiling anything,
obviously by
yeah.
using this method, he's able to change the past,
Yeah.
which will obviously then affect
Change
the
the future
future.
as well.
Overall, very, very well done anime. Very, very
Story
well,
development.
Okay.
well acted anime.
Story development, brilliant.
Yes.
Character development, brilliant. Voice acting in sub is very fucking good. The dubs, their voices, in my opinion, I could watch it, yes, but
Yeah, it's very
I
good.
personally wouldn't.
Yeah.
As well, there is a
Because I couldn't personally I couldn't watch it in subbed because I didn't like Okabe's voice. So I liked it.
I liked his voice.
Yeah.
As well, there is a sequel, which is a film, which is obviously most people would think that if it's a film that's like in a way a sequel to it, you would have thought it might be just a recap of episodes 1 to 24.
Right.
But obviously
Yeah.
a cut down, shortened version.
Yeah.
But it's not. It takes place a year after the ending of the Steins Gate TV series,
Okay.
Pretty cool.
and it's an hour and a half long.
Alright, moving on to the next anime,
So
which I absolutely know nothing about, and I have never watched it before, is an anime called Log Horizon, which many people have seen and compared to Sword Art Online.
which is another mainstream.
And even I know you should not compare this anime to Sword Art Online.
Well, see, that's the thing, because you could compare the genres in a way because they are both set in a video game. They both take place where the characters are drawn into a video game and they can't get out. But the thing about Log Horizon is, unlike Seo, which they are able to get out at a point, with Log Horizon, they can't.
Yeah.
It's simple as they don't get out. And it's much, much more in depth than Seo is. Like, I don't know how to explain it. The skill system, where in Seo, where you literally just have to think of your move to do it, in Log Horizon, you have to take in every single parameter possible. Like, where the enemy is standing, where you're standing. If you actually have the skill to use it, like, you could get a skill and then not be able to use it for about 10 levels. It doesn't matter. When you get it, you might not be able to use it. And the world itself is much more developed than the Seo is. For example, because Seo is 100 levels, right?
Right. Not even
And
that.
but each level is different in a way, but they all stay the same, right? Log Horizon is the entirety of Japan.
Yeah.
It's just all of Japan, and anything can happen at any point in time. You have no idea what's going to happen. New enemies come out that have never been seen before in this game. New characters appear that just should have no place whatsoever. Raids appear just in the middle of cities. Like, honestly, no one knows what's going to happen in this series. Whereas in Sector, they already know. The thing about Log Horizon is one of the things it does extremely well is the raid system. That includes the main character as well. Because the raids in Log Horizon, they can take place over months and months and months. You have to fight the same boss for weeks, constantly dying, constantly reviving, trying to think of how to beat it, because it's that difficult. Whereas there's really no raids in Seo. It's just go to this floor, beat the
Yeah.
boss, go to the next floor, beat the. Okay, there's like massive dungeons, but it's not a full raid. Like for example, in Log Horizon, you can only have 24 people in a main raid. That's it. No more. You can't even have less than 24 people. There has to be 24 people
Yeah,
exactly.
rather than in Seo, it's really it's kind of over exaggerated for a MMO style anime, but it's kind of more of a relaxed style.
Yeah,
anime.
it's not for people who want a very in-depth anime. Like in Log Horizon, you have to pay attention to everything. The main character, who's called Shiro, Shiroe, because he's a man, he was part of a thing called Debauchery Tea Party, which when it was actually a game and anyone could log on or log off whenever they wanted, they were the first people to just be every single raid, but they never formed a guild. Whereas in Log Horizon, the main character does form a guild. He forms a political group as well to watch over the city of Akihabara, where it takes place. And he has to go through all these struggles of being able to fund the protection of all of the people in the game, because the NPCs, whereas in Sword Art Online, they go about their day, they don't really bother anyone. In Log Horizon, the people of the land, they have their own personalities. They live their lives and they're in danger. If you're an adventurer, you can die and you can revive. If you're just an NPC, a person of the land, if you die, that's it. You're dead forever. You cannot come back. And Shiro wants to protect these people of the land because they still have levels. They still have skills. The only thing wrong with them is they will die. So, and if the adventurers are too forceful on the people of the land, which is kind of what happens at the start of the anime, the people of the land could start a war. And if they do, they could destroy the entirety of Japan. Because without the people of the land, that's it. The adventurers will have nothing. Because it's the people of the land who give them the quests, it's the people of the land who give them their items, and it's the people of the land who actually care for them. Because all the adventurers, when they first join, they don't know what to do. For about a month, they're just dead inside, basically, because they've been taken from their lives, just like in Seo, but it's more just as soon as you start the anime, everyone's got no emotions. No one knows what to do. Everyone's dead. Whereas in Seo, the beta testers, they get through it quite easily. I mean, even the main character, he goes through these struggles too. Don't get me wrong, he's very, very knowledgeable on the game itself, and he's got a system which allows him to, in a raid, he knows everyone's stats. He knows all of their skills. He knows how much MP they're going to take. He knows everyone's health. He doesn't even have to look at their stat screen to be able to control the entire battlefield. But even though he's got this ability, he still has to go through struggles just like every other character. Whereas in Sword Art Online, which you've got the main character, Kirito, who doesn't really have a problem getting through things. Because he's so... Well, he does, but not to the sense that he's the same as everyone else. Okay, he's got to do these really difficult fights, but he doesn't go through like the emotional struggles and the pain of being stuck in this world that everyone else does. If that makes sense.
I mean, kinda. So the characters in Log Horizon, how out of 10, how would you rate the character development?
In Season 1?
Yes.
There is not much character development in Season 1. It could be a lot better. I would give it about a 7 or an 8, but in Season 2, you start learning about the actual characters' backgrounds and where they come from, and at that point, it's an absolute 10. I've not seen better character development in an anime than in Season 2 of Log Horizon.
So it's more of a visual representation of characters rather than being told to you.
Yeah, you learn their backgrounds through, because when you die in Log Horizon, you revive, whereas in Seo you're just dead. But in Log Horizon, you actually lose your memories. You lose some of your memories, and you cannot get them back. It's simple as you die, you actually get a flashback of your past, and you go past the thing that you've forgotten. It'd be like the name of a shop or someone's face or something like that, and you just forget it completely. You will never be able to remember it unless you go back to your world. But it's a visual representation of their memories being physically forced out of their bodies.
Hmm.
And that's how you learn about the backstories of each character, and through dialogue between some of the characters. Like, even the children have tragic backstories that you would never have dreamed of in your life, but they're still so happy to live in this world because of the characters they meet along the way.
Oh, that's pretty good. So on the note of game animes, we're actually going to move on to Sword Art Online, which many people don't seem to like. But
Main reason, too mainstream.
Yeah, me and Iscu like it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I like it, but I wouldn't rank it very high. Yeah,
it's been expanded.
So,
and there are some things that are just not needed as well.
Yeah, so basically what you said before, that the main character, Kirito, is a original beta tester for Aincrad.
Yeah.
And
no, it's not for Aincrad. It's for the game called Sword Art Online.
Yeah, he's been in Aincrad before.
Something about Aincrad is that's the name of the entire world. That sort that the start
like he's been in Aincrad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So basically, this new game comes out that he's been beta testing with a few hundred other beta testers. There wasn't that many people picked.
I think it was actually 100 beta testers.
Yeah, I think it was. And they go into the game for the open release, like any other RPG that comes out, any other really popular game. They go into the game, they put on these virtual reality headsets called Nerve Gears. And basically what Nerve Gears do is allows you to explore the game for yourself without getting hurt outside. Well,
the nerve gears go over your head like a helmet, which then connects to your nerve impulses within the brain.
Yeah, and it basically puts you inside the game,
which allows you to use your brain like functionality to like move your avatar within the game
without your actual person moving itself.
Right. So he continues on into the game. And he's casually walking around on the day of release. His character's been reset. And he finds this random guy like just walking around called Klein, and at the start of the anime they go he teaches Klein the basics of combat. Not really going to go into detail. There's not really much to say about it. It's literally just like strategy-based combat, simple MMO style.
Yeah.
They go into the main area. The Citadel, is it called?
They get teleported to the Citadel.
Yeah. They go to the Citadel for a world meeting of sort with the
game master
Akihiko Kayaba.
Yeah.
Which is a in a way a big virtual image.
Yeah, because he's the one who created the game.
Yeah, he is. He's basically the world god of the game, and he announces to everyone that you cannot leave the game. The game is real, and if you get hurt in this game, you will get hurt in real life. So if you die in the game, you will die in real life.
Yeah.
And then he wants to make the game as real as possible, so they change their avatars to their real life avatars.
Yeah.
And they can put it into the game. So further on into the anime, he meets. They go into the first dungeon, and what you said that he is kind of like you said in a way, he said he's overpowered towards everyone else.
In a way, yeah.
But I think in some stages that the female character, Asuna, is actually more powerful than him in some parts.
In some parts, yeah. But that's the thing about Asuna, because when you first meet her, she has no knowledge on the game whatsoever.
No.
She's very, very bad at the game. But then it's almost like the second time you meet her, she's as powerful as Kirito.
Yeah.
There's not really any development with her character, and I would have loved to seen it. It's
just exactly. I mean, you get like these weird-ass characters as well, because after that, it's not really a spoiler. The anime's been out for quite a while,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure everyone has watched it.
Mm.
So you know the character he meets, the character where it's like he meets her for like 4 seconds about information about Santa Claus that he needs to kill. Like where's the main drop for an item, a special rare item that he needs to get.
Yeah.
And you meet that character for literally 4 seconds, and that's it. Boom, gone.
Yeah.
They do that a lot. They do that a lot.
There is not enough character development. You'll be introduced to a character, and then that's it. You just go from there. You don't know anything about the backstory, and it's really annoying because it could be fantastic if you knew about the character's background.
So I really like it though, just because of the aspect, and because it's an anime and it's about games, and I don't care what anyone says about it. I like it. My opinion.
Yeah, I can understand why you like it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I completely understand why. It's just not my kind of thing.
Yeah, I completely understand.
Yeah.
I don't like having like arguments with people that saying, "Oh, this anime is better than the other." You cannot compare animes to each other because they're both represented in a different way.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah. But you can
In
still
some aspects,
compare them in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like if they were the
There are
same
some anime.
genre, you can say, like, okay, this does this differently, and I think that's better. Or this does that differently, and I think that's better.
Yeah.
But you couldn't just compare the entire thing on a whole, because it's not the same
worse
character.
than Log Horizon because of this, and Log Horizon's worse than Sayo because I don't care. Like, I would like both.
Yeah. It's just basically down to personal opinion. That's just how you can put it. It's just, that's your opinion. I have my opinion. They may be different. Who cares?
Yeah.
Honestly, who cares? It's just an opinion.
It's an argument that's been going on for a long time. It shouldn't have been argued about. Anyway, going on to a different genre of psychological anime.
Okay.
My favorite kind of anime, psychological horror, but this isn't a horror. Very, very well-known anime, Death Note, which neither of you have seen.
It's true.
True.
And it's a very well-written anime, which came out quite a long time ago, 2006, I believe it came out.
Believe so.
And back then, I watched it, before it was cool, hipster.
Before it was cool, obviously.
And I watched it before like it got popular.
It got really popular, yeah.
And basically, it's just about different worlds going in with each other, like finding out what human life is actually means.
I mean, I've seen some of it, and like, isn't it? It's about a guy who's just a normal school guy,
like
who is like top of his class, isn't he? He's like top. He like knows everything about his class.
He's a very smart guy, and one day,
and he finds a notebook on the ground, I think so, and it says Death Note on it, right?
Yeah,
and it's got like instructions inside of it.
Yeah, and he thinks it's a joke at one point, and then he starts reading into it, and then he's like, "This is a very well detailed joke." So
he tests it out, doesn't he?
He leaves it on the floor. Like he leaves it on the floor, but then he goes back again for some weird reason and picks it up. After school, he takes it home, goes upstairs without saying a word, and he writes a criminal's name in the book that's holding people hostage in a building, and he's like, it won't happen. It's just a stupid book. He writes his name in, and then boom. The guy dies, and then he's like, wow, okay.
Well, doesn't he still not believe it at that point? But he goes
he
out,
doesn't believe it.
and some woman is being attacked by like this guy on a motorbike. He finds out his name from some random stranger calling it out, and he writes his name in the notebook. Isn't that what happens, I think?
Yeah, it is. And I think they were broadcast criminals. I'm not too sure about that, but I think they might have been. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, they might have just been called out in the street, but yeah, he tests it out for himself. He goes in real life, just goes out on the street, finds this woman getting attacked. He kills them all instantly through a truck accident. And it goes on, and just from doing that one thing with that one notebook, instantaneously destroys his life.
Yeah.
And
well, see. But doesn't he enjoy the fact that he's got this notebook?
He thinks he's God, he thinks he's playing God because he's getting rid of people that the world doesn't need anymore.
Yeah.
And he finds it amusing, and it kind of takes over his personality and who he is, which actually it does, because the book changes who you are.
Yeah.
He doesn't, and it kind of makes a different persona than he actually is.
Yeah.
So not spoiling too much, which I don't know if I can or can't go into much detail, but he ends up killing people, and if you end up doing something bad will happen to you.
Mm.
He gets instantly karma'd from a person known as Al, which is a detective. He's worked on loads of different police force cases, and he's
Isn't he a detective that no one knows his face, right?
Yeah, exactly. No one knows who he looks like, but he's helped the police force, every police force in every country, of the best and worst mysteries of human history, and he solved every single one of them.
Mm.
Right, so he tries to track down Light, doing all these, bad, horrible things that he's doing.
Well, isn't the first thing that he does, like, he holds a fake, like, announcement saying who he is?
Yes.
And he's, just by that one thing, he pinpoints where Light is to the city, I do believe, right?
Yes, he, basically, he just does, like, a fake announcement to just an area,
Of Japan.
Of Japan, yeah. Of just like a little tiny, like, I don't know, like half a city of people, and he pinpoints the location of where he is, and he gives in because he thinks it's a worldwide, broadcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, without giving anything away, it's just about life or death choices, and yeah, that's pretty much it from Death Note. It's it's okay. Okay, so going on to the last anime, Absolute Duo.
Yeah.
Iscu, your thoughts on Absolute Duo?
Absolute Duo is a 12-episode, recently aired anime, which has the genres of action, ecchi, romance, school, harem, and supernatural.
Yeah.
Right.
It aired between the 4th of January 2015 to March 22nd.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the anime itself was overhyped.
Too right.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's a good anime. Don't get me wrong, but this, as I said, overhyped. The story development, there was not really much. Well, there was some story development. The character development, there was not much at all.
The problem with Absolute Duo is the main character, really, because you know a little bit about his background and what he's been through, but you basically know nothing. You see still images, and that's really it.
It's kind of just like misproportioned of what the actual representation of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then you get this anime which is kind of like, it goes backwards and forwards of the character development and what the character feels. And then you get this stupid other story with the girl that stays in his dorm, and then you get the pointless etchiness of some of the in the story, and it's kind of just messed up, and it's kind of just pointless, and I really wanted them to just get on with the series.
Yeah. And I mean, I wanted it to be good because the voice actors that were behind it were absolutely fantastic, like top class voice actors. But the problem with it, the main character just is a fantastic voice actor.
The main character's voice is mainly recognizable from famous animes such as Sword Art Online.
Yeah, he plays Kira.
What else is there? There's Sora from No Game No Life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You've got, I don't know if people will recognize it, but Trinity 7, he plays the main character's voice in that.
Yep. Watch 27.
Yeah.
He's
Mm.
currently voicing a character, the main character in Shogugeki no Soma, which is an anime which is being aired
Yeah.
at the moment.
A very good anime.
But yeah, he
Mm.
works a lot in the voice acting industry. He's very well known. His voice acting is top notch. But in a way, as
Mm.
you could say, even with his voice, the anime itself was still a letdown.
It let you down from the very start. I mean, the first episode was nothing to be excited about. It really didn't
Yeah.
draw you in as much as it should have.
No, it
Whereas
didn't.
if you look at another season's first episode, and it's just like, oh my god, I want to watch the rest. Whereas
Yeah,
this was just,
exactly.
okay, that was, I
doesn't-
don't really know.
It doesn't really leave you on a cliffhanger. Or it doesn't really leave you on a question
Yeah.
which needs answering. It's kind of just like that.
It doesn't
okay,
make you
yeah.
want to watch more.
No, it kind of.
Yeah,
You
it
watch
doesn't
more
make you
because
want
you
to
have to.
Just
You're forced.
yeah,
to
you watch it because you think that it's going to get better. You want it to get better, and you hope to God that it will get better, but it just kind of doesn't.
Like,
Mm.
admittedly, it's a good watch if you want to watch an action ecchi romance harem. But
Yeah.
if
But don't watch it because you've got nothing else to do. Only watch it if you feel like watching something that
Yeah, that's new
It's just-
and is
yeah.
kind of just like there, and you just need to get a series over and done with if you're bored. It's kind of
it's,
like one of
it's
those
definitely
animes.
not a must watch. It's not a must watch. It's
Like-
just keep it on the back burner. Watch it if you've just got spare time. Don't go out of your way to watch this anime.
Okay, so talking about the last anime that we are doing today, Shonugeki no Soma.
Okay.
And what it's about this this kid, and he works in a restaurant with his dad, and they're very
it's
competitive.
called the Yukihira.
Yeah, the Yukihira restaurant, which is their very competitive family relationship they have going on between them, and he wants to be better than his dad or beat his dad in a cooking competition.
Well, the restaurant itself is well known for its the special of the day, where him and his dad constantly compete,
Yeah.
and obviously they compete to see whose dish is better, and they get the customers to try the dish,
Right.
and obviously the person who eats the food of the contenders, which is obviously Yukihira, the main Soma, the main character. Then you got his dad, and obviously they
They have
think
like a
they always choose
competition.
his dad then.
His dad
Yeah.
obviously wins against him, so for him to progress in his cooking skills, his dad, you know what? I'll just send you to the highest class score in the whole of Japan for cooking.
which has got a successful graduation rate of 10%.
Wow.
And he's like, no, I can't do this. But then his dad has to move away for some job reason, and he has to
Right.
close down his restaurant.
So obviously, within the spite of his dad closing down the restaurant, he sends him to obviously this school called I forgot. It
Just an
begins with
academy.
T. It begins with T. I swear it begins with T.
Just the academy of
Yeah,
cooking.
Tsunami, I think it's called. And basically, this school is the highest of the highest, and as I said, it's got a successful graduation rate of 10%.
Jesus.
So, and throughout the series, obviously, the main character has to obviously stay
Go through
within the
certain challenges.
go through challenges to successfully stay within the college school.
Right.
Obviously, when his dad sends him there, he ends up taking the transfer test to be able to obviously get into the school.
Okay.
And basically, when he's there, obviously there's hundreds of people there waiting to take the test, and basically it turns out when the examiner comes in, turns out to be this person who's known as the God's Tongue.
Wow.
And basically she's very known throughout the cooking industry of
her good taste.
Her taste, and obviously she's basically goes around to chef to help judge the taste and quality of their food.
Okay.
And as soon as she comes out and everyone sees her, loads of them get scared after when she announces what the challenge is, and most of them run away, leaving behind the single male Yukihiro Soma, who takes up the challenge of trying to do the exam, where the main ingredient is egg.
Yeah, and it basically it's kind of funny as well because he doesn't really know what the hell's going on or who this woman is, and he's just like, it's just a normal girl, I know, I'll just cook an egg. Cook something like that. Okay. And, you know, surprise, surprise, he passes it. Just like that.
Wait,
and
so everyone runs away, leaving only him, and he just cooks an egg?
No, well, because he isn't really bothered by the fact that, like, who she is. Like, he's just like...
His attitude is kind of sarcastic. He's a really sarcastic person.
Like, for me, this isn't a spoiler, but I've read the manga for it, and basically the one thing I can tell, which is very consistent, is he's very cocky, but yet he can pull it off.
Yeah.
He's not one of them. He's not one of these people which can just go, yeah, I could do this, I could do that. It'll get cocky with it.
See, he's one of the guys who can go, oh, I could do this, I could do that, and then actually can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But considering the anime hasn't been on for too long, we can't really say anything about it unless you've read the manga. But
or if you have started watching the series itself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's very, very well good. Such grammar. It's very, very good and developed.
Yes.
Obviously,
and it's very funny.
Who is obviously a weekly reader of the new chapters, which I think it's weekly. But basically, I obviously read the new chapters every week, and it's always very, very interesting. With the newest chapter, it's just drawn me in even more because of what's going to happen. It's always the thing is like something different's gonna happen. Something like it's always like I can't really explain it in a way without spoiling it.
Basically, just undescribable events happen to make just progress through him doing things which aren't normal, and he just does the impossible and manages to just complete every task. So I think on that note, we shall end it here.
Okay.
We have spoke about five is alright?
Yeah, five.
Yeah,
six
animes. Gave our own view and opinions of them, and our own on recommendations to watch.
Another's the best anime.
Makise Kurosu's Bay.
No, Memasaki. So
okay, sure, why not?
It's been very.
It's been a good time.
Gave our own views and opinions.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
No hate.
No hate.
No hate. I've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it myself at least. Especially with Sword Art Online. No hate at all. Swear.
Swear. I swear on my
just
mum.
opinions. Just opinions.
I swear on my mum.
Swear on my mum.
Anyway, so it was nice doing this. We shall do more. We shall do more.
It'll probably be a weekly
Yeah,
thing.
a weekly thing.
Hopefully, yeah.
Maybe if we're like, we want to do it again on the weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. If we just
Depends-
feel like it,
Depends on the mood.
it should be weekly. It should be weekly at least.
Yeah. All right then. So on that note,
Yeah.
we will go.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.